What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Veteranbassin. Today, I'm going to teach you all about how to fish a jig. Stay tuned. Fishing a jig can be one of the best things out here when it comes to fishing. And I'm going to tell you now, if you're not fishing a jig, then you're missing out because this is one jig that can be fished year round. And I'm telling you, if you're not casting a jig, then you're missing out on a lot of fish. But before I go into teaching you how to fish it, let me get into the different types of jigs. Well, even before then, I'm going to let you know. There are plenty of people out there telling you how to fish a jig. Look here, man. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. Simple as possible. You really only need 3 types of jigs. 4 if you really want to count the moving bait. But we're going to stick with the 3 types of jigs. Now, you have your ball head jig, you have your archy head style jig, let me put that up there, and you have your football head jig. Now, the archy head style jig, which is also could be called a casting or a flipping jig, that is going to be more your all-arounder. That's going to be the one that I am going to 99% of the time recommend. Now, that's unless you're fishing deep lakes or whatsoever. But as far as ponds go, archy head style jig every single time. Now, with that being said, the ball head jig, going into about a 3/8 ounce, you're looking at more like I have here, your finesse style. Those are the more useful ones. Oh my goodness, my head is itching. I'm so sorry. But those are the ones that are more useful for, your pea gravel, shells, anything on lakes. But now in the ponds, which with this pond here, you have a clay rocky bottom. So they'll work here too. Now, your archy head style is, again, your all-arounder. You can flip this into under docks. You can fish it in laydowns, grass, brush piles, rocks. You can put this jig anywhere. And what makes most jigs very, very fishable year-round and in any condition is they're virtually weedless. They're virtually weedless, so you can take it anywhere. Now, your football head jig, I would recommend that more for deeper water. Deeper water, you get you an ounce to a 3/4 ounce weight, gets the bait down to the bottom faster, and it helps with your I can't talk right now, but it helps with the fall of your bait. But in any case, as far as colors go, again, you only need 3 colors: green pumpkin, a watermelon red, or a black and blue. It'll cover you across the board. Now, there are different varieties, different brands, different colors for jigs. But to keep it simple now, man, green pumpkin, watermelon, any watermelon, black and blue. Get you through any condition that you're going to be fishing. Now, that's about as simple as I can make it. That's about as simple as I can make it as far as choosing your color and choosing the style of jig. Can't get no simpler than that. Now, let's go on with jig trailers. Again, man, we're going to keep this very simple. In the summertime, well, in the spring, late spring through late fall, I prefer a jig with more action to it. The water's warmer, so you want to pick you maybe a crawl style trailer. Now, when you're talking winter, you don't really want as much action from your trailer. Water's cold, fish is cold, they have a low metabolism. They're not really trying to eat as much. So I would go again with a trailer that has no action. More kind of like a beaver style trailer. Keeping it simple. Now, the way to fish a jig. First, and we'll get into how to pitch cover in another video, but right now this is just the basics on how to fish a jig. So the first thing I'm going to do when I'm fishing a jig is, let me step off to the side here. I'm going to make a cast, and I'm going to wait until it sinks to the bottom. Off pop. Crawl it on the bottom. That's the first thing that I'm going to do. Now, while the jig down there, I'm doing one thing automatically. I'm dead sticking the jig. You'll be surprised at how many fish you can catch from dead sticking a jig. So what that is, you just cast it out there and you just let it sit. I could put my rod down. You just let it sit. You know, I haven't reeled. I haven't reeled. I haven't engaged my reel. I'm just letting it sit there. That's dead sticking. Now, there are 3 retrieves. 2 I do from the bank. 1 I do from the boat. And what those retrieves are is, you can drag a jig, and with dragging the jig, you start off at the 9 o'clock position. And when I drag a jig, I don't really put my arm into it. I just move my wrist. So all I do is go from 9, move my wrist up to 11. And then I drop it back to 9 and take up the slack. You want to be paying attention to your line, because that's going to tell you when you have the bite. Now, the other method of fishing the jig is hopping it. And that's where, again, I had a bite there, but I wasn't paying attention. But in any case, is hopping a jig. And all that is, it's about like dragging it, except you bounce your line, or you bounce your rod really, as you bring it up to the 11 o'clock position. So, what you do is you to the 11 o'clock position. Now, let me get it back in. Now, the other thing, because I'm going to cast it a little further out there, the other thing is stroking a jig. That's where you let it sit on the bottom. Let it get down there. And what you do is, I like to do 3 jerks up with the rod. So I reel up my slack a little bit, and then that's stroking the jig. I mostly use that in deep lakes, because you kind of have a whole lot more room, where the pond is a little shallow. Now, the one thing about a casting jig, unlike the other ones, is that you could also swim it, because basically it's a chatterbait. It just don't have the blade on it. It's a chatterbait. So what you do, make you a long cast out there. You let it sink. almost to the bottom, or you count down how far you want it to, as far as the depth go, and you slowly reel it back. That's all you do. Now, the other style jig that I did not mention is a swim jig, which is basically made for, again, the name implies, swimming it. Cast and retrieve. All in all, fishing the jig can be fun. Now, biggest of the time, you might not get as many bites as you want, but you're going to get quality bites. You're going to get quality bites. That's without a given. I've had 4+ pounders and over caught on jigs. But all in a nutshell, that is as simple as I can make it. Now, going into the weather and the water clarity, I made a video on that as far as choosing the right colors when picking your lures. So I will leave a link to that in the description, but that's as simple as I can make it. 3 types of jigs. I mean, a 4th one if you want to swim a jig, and there are swim jigs out there for you to use. Biggest of the time, if I'm fishing a pond, I don't go no higher than a 1/4 ounce weight jig. If I'm fishing the pond, the lakes, I'm sorry, I go as deep as 1 ounce. You pick your trailers based off of your jigs, you know. But other than that, can't get no simpler than that. Veteranbassin, we'll try to post 3 videos a week. It will be 2 definitely, but we're going to try to post 3 a week. Again, we love you very much. And also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. And comment any video you would like for me to see. I do engage any comments. I love talking to the people, especially about fishing, about anything outdoors. But I hope to see y'all out there. Veteranbassin, we love you. We out.